Now excited to be joined by a very special guest. It is the one and only JJ Pegues. Been a long time coming, man. JJ, before we talk about you, talk about your career, let's talk about the Allstate AFCA Good Works team. What does it mean to you to be in consideration for the Allstate Werfel Trophy?
It means the world to me, just being able to be recognized and what I'm doing in my community. And I grew up here, so it means a lot for me just to be able to give to the kids because I know when I was growing up, I wanted that. And I just wanted somebody, that plays football for Ole Miss to just come and just make my day. And that's one thing about me. I just love seeing smiles on people's faces. And that's one thing that just keeps me going each and every day.
It's not every day that we get to see, somebody like you that's in his community that gets a chance like this to give back. And it's really cool that, you had your college career start off the way that it did. And we'll talk about that in a bit, but then to come back and be a fixture in Oxford. Like I imagine for you, you take an extra sense of pride in seeing, your body of work help out in the community. Was that a big reason, like kind of why you wanted to come back to Ole Miss and kind of get back to your roots a little bit?
Yeah, that was a huge reason why. Just because, like I said, just wanted to impact my community and the kids that's in it, and I feel like God just placed it on my heart that I could do bigger things or back at home. And I know the grandma cooking. I always gotta get the grandma cooking too, so that was a plus too. But no, just doing the community work. Usually, I tried to do it back at Auburn, and it was just hard for me too, just because like of the place. Like I wasn't around there, but I also did some community work over there. But I knew it would have been like a more impactful me just coming back home and seeing the familiar faces when I was growing up, and just seeing the younger kids, even the older kids that's in high school now, and just seeing them and how much I've impacted their life and made them want to just continue to play football, be two-way offensive defense, and just stuff like that. So those little things really just mean the world to me. And again, that's the reason why I just keep going and just keep putting a smile on my face and trying to do it all I can before I leave here.
JJ, it's not every day that we get to see a big man touchdown in a game, much less two big men touchdowns. You put the little juke on the defender at the goal line and be able to make him miss. We'll get into your background, why that's not necessarily surprising coming from you, but did you take any heat whatsoever in the film room, on the sideline, anything like that for not running straight through that defender?
Uh, so the O-line coach usually tell me, man, just put your pads down and just go bulldoze some or run over somebody. But no, I didn't take any hit. As long as I got in the box, that's all that matters. We put six on the board, so that's all that matters.
For anybody that's been following your career, there's just absolutely nothing surprising about the things that you can do on a football field at this point. I remember 4 years ago, I talked to Gus Malzahn, your coach at Auburn, about you. I talked to Lane Kiffin about you and your high school coach, Chris Cutcliffe. And I heard all these different things about the things that you used to do and why you were such an appropriately, so I guess, athlete. It just fit you as a recruit, the cannonball package that you ran in high school. Tell
Yeah.
me about that and why you probably enjoyed that as much as anything.
So we came up with that my junior year, like the end of my junior year, and we really came up with it like on the fly. We were playing Columbus. I remember this like I said, we were playing Columbus. It was halftime. We were supposed to be killing Columbus. So the receivers weren't catching the ball, the running backs weren't running. So I'm like, okay, we got to do something else. So our coach dropped on the board, just big circles on the board, and then he just wrote a big JJ at quarterback. And I'm like, what? I'm playing quarterback? And ever since then, we've been running that cannonball and just running downhill, and the rest is just history.
It's unbelievable to think about that if you're an opposing defense in high school. You're like, buddy, I got 2 hours of chemistry homework tonight. Now I got JJ McGee's lining up at quarterback. I
Man.
got to imagine like you show those looks and you can probably see it on a defense's face of like, oh my gosh, I do not want to tackle you. Do you have any experience where that really kind of stood out?
So me and Walter Nolan actually always, because he played at Olive Branch.
Yeah.
And I played him when he was a freshman and I was a senior. And we talk about that every day about how like, bro, he would be like, oh, y'all was cheating. Y'all put a 245-pound person there, quarterback, this and that. I'm like, bro, we trying to win games. Like, I mean, if that's how we're gonna win, that's how we're gonna win. But no, just seeing how like people just tried to like scheme against me, like when I was at quarterback or even at running back or outside receiver, like I don't know, I just felt like I had a lot to do, but like I always had the right Coach Cutcliffe, offensive coordinator God. Like he draws it up for everybody. But no, it was fun and I still could do it today, I feel like, but I got the defense in me too, so I just do it a little both now.
Walter get the best of you ever in high school, or were you winning those battles?
He got me one time, and I told him I'd never say this, so this is my first time I'm gonna say it. I was running, we ran the Wildcat formation, cannonball, and I got the first down. It was like 4th and 1, but like I felt the hand on my shoulder pad, and like he pulled me back behind the line of scrimmage. And I didn't know Walter at this time, so I'm like, Coach, I don't know who that big guy is, but that's the first time I felt like I was a little kid out there. But no, he did give me one time. I gave him his props, but he still won't give me my props, so that's all right though.
So you talk about splitting out wide occasionally. State championship, your junior year, you made a full extension diving grab that sets up the go-ahead touchdown for you. Can you
Mhm.
also tell the story of the time that you talked Coach Cutcliffe into wiping a field goal off the board in a scoreless game when the monsoon was coming down so
It was
that you
Olive
could
Branch,
run
yeah.
the outside fade? Oh, that was against Olive Branch.
That was
Okay.
against Olive Branch, yeah. So we just called it was like 4th and some inches or whatever. And I remember Coach Cut was like, "Are we finna kick the field goal?" And I'm like, "No, let's just throw the fade," because it was just like packed. They was gonna pack inside. It looked like cannonball inside, but the quarterback, John Moore, was actually in the game, and I was just gonna be split out. And it was just raining so hard. And plus, I'm like, if he kick it, the wind gonna take it and whatever. So he was like, all right. So when Coach Cut told me his dad was like, after the game was like texting him and stuff like that, was like, don't you ever in your life take 3 points away like that and try to throw a fade and it's pouring down rain. And I'm like, hey, we executed the play, so it is what it is. But no, we ended up winning, I think, 10-0 that game. So he did make a field goal in the rain. It was like a 30-yard field goal. So I mean, I wouldn't say I wouldn't trust him. It was just like one-on-one, fade ball. I like my odds.
The fact that you like your odds to catch a goal line fade as opposed to a kicker kicking a chip shot field goal, albeit in difficult conditions,
No, it
that
was very.
that that's unbelievable, man. That's unbelievable. I gotta imagine too, like you had so many of those moments with Cutcliffe in that like you could just you guys had that rapport and you had to be able to play all the different positions that you played throughout your career because like you're still playing some defensive line as well. It's not like you're just playing exclusively on offense, but you became this guy who was just positionless and you could just do anything you set out to do. What was your relationship like with him to be able to have that back and forth where you felt like, you could tell him probably in a game, like, hey, I'd love to be able to play both sides, or, oh, maybe I'm feeling really good about this matchup here or there. Your rapport probably was second to none.
No, we felt like Belichick and Brady for real. But no, we had a great relationship, and that's why I feel like played a big factor in me, like being able to move around and play different positions, just because he trusted me, and I actually took it serious and came in with the extra film study with him each Sunday we had after our game, and him just invited me over. And with the kids and just eating, me and John Moore and him. So I feel like the little things we did together really just built our bond together. And still to this day, I call him, text him. I go up to the high school every now and then, and we'll chop it up. And yeah, so I feel like that bond that we created with each other really just mesh everything together and allow me and him to like just do everything within the team and just play me in different positions.
He loved you. And I remember talking to him about like a time when you would just show up at his house, like with your girlfriend and freshly baked cookies and just hang out and just be with the family. And that's super rare. And it speaks to your maturity and the person that you are. I got to imagine though, like you probably at least had some of those moments where you're watching film and he's getting on you or something like that. First of all, where did you practice in a given day in high school? Because it felt like you probably could just, it would probably depend on the given week or maybe even the given matchup at certain points.
So I would usually practice at tight end. I would be at tight end all throughout practice, but like I would get like if the running backs were working like meshes or something like that with the quarterback, like I do a route with a tight end and then go running back, get a couple carries, and then I just go back to tight end, and it's just vice versa. But when the game came down to it, I usually start off at running back. And then Coach Cut, like I said, does a great job. I start off at running back, shift out to outside receiver, and then we'll just run a play like that. So I, I I was a tight end. I am a tight end at heart. That's what I was. But he just moved me around. It's basically the situation. If it's 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, and he know we can get an inside zone, and he'll put me at running back. If it's passing situation, he'll put me at tight end or something like that. And we'll probably run a dagger play or something like that, a dig. But no, I started off at tight end at practice though.
You end up doing something that I'm sure you heard from a lot in the community at the time to leave Oxford and to sign with Auburn. But I know that you had gotten last minute pitches from Saban. He came to Oxford just before signing day, and Lane, I know he wanted to be able to kind of sit down with you after he had just taken over at Ole Miss. What do you remember about those late pitches from Kiffin and Saban?
I just remember we were just actually talking about this, but when Saban came up and he was talking to me, and he said something about he brought the defensive line coach with him, and he was just talking about how good of an athlete I was and how I could play D line and impact in some ways. So like that really just shook everything up for like Bama because like my whole mindset, tight end offense, do the wildcat, like stuff like that, stuff I was comfortable with. So then that's when Malzahn came with me, and he was just like, man, we're gonna use you as a tight end, but we also gonna use you for the wildcat, which he did. And I never gave Kiffin a chance. It was just too late. He got the job too late, and I was already deep into it. I was headed to the Mississippi Alabama All-Star game actually when he wanted to see me. So it was God's timing, and now I'm back home, which I'm thankful for. So yeah, I say it's God timing.
Okay, I gotta ask about Lane in 2020 because I when I talked to him about you it was right after you had the hurdle in the Arkansas game,
Huh?
and that play was just probably everything that you had heard in a recruiting pitch. We're gonna line you up in the Wildcat, we're gonna let you go, and to do that as a true freshman at your size is just unthinkable. And it was a play that everybody was talking about. But Kiffin said that he was so disappointed they didn't get to meet with you, and that if you had made the decision to stick to defense in your college career, that you could probably end up being a top 5 pick as a 3 technique guy. And it was like
Mhm.
a whoa, like it was an unbelievable quote. You hit the portal 2 years after, and obviously you end up at Ole Miss where you're at now. But what was that pitch like the second time around, knowing like you already at that point at least had some sort of like not really a rapport, but you at least had some sort of foundation with Kiffin?
So that was really like it was really easy for me just because like me seeing and playing against them, like how unique his offense is and how he used people. So I was just thinking like maybe he does remember like my tight end stuff and seeing me do little things like that, and just thinking that I could play defense, I could play defensive line, but also play tight end and wildcat, which I'm playing now, and just I know he likes to win, and I seen what was going on over here, and I just wanted a part of it, and plus the community just coming back home and just giving to them. So I mean, it was a no-brainer for me just to come back home, and we're doing big things now, and we're gonna do big things later on down the road.
All that stuff, the social media stuff, the fire extinguisher, the basketball hoop on the sideline. You've been in those spots. You've seen what it's like at other places. You've seen what it's like at Ole Miss. Tell us like why that stuff, it just makes football more fun. Like it seems like it's just such a fun place to be able to show up and get through this grind of playing college football.
Yeah, I feel like Kiffin does a great job with just those things. Like we're big on just being want to know each and every day and not letting like the distractions happen. And he loves to bring the juice. So like whenever we do something good, like we're gonna allow the fans to see it and them be along with it too. You know what I mean? And I know at other schools like they don't do that. They just go to the sideline and it's quiet and they just root. But like we want to show it, and I feel like it's fun and it's something different that football needs. You know, I mean football is fun and we love to play it, so we just want to show that.
Huge matchup this weekend, obviously. Those LSU offensive tackles, I'm sure you've already looked at film of them and you've already had a chance to hear about how great those guys are on the outside, Will Campbell and Emory Jones. And obviously you deal with guys on the interior as well. But what have you seen from them so far and to make you think like this is going to be a headliner, tier one type matchup?
No, it's gonna be a dogfight, and they have a great team, great offense, great defense. But we just gotta go in and pack our defense and do what we do. We play ball, we play fast, physical, and fearless, and we just spot the ball, whatever.
What's this defensive line capable of being for Ole Miss this year?
Best. I mean, that's what all we've been talking about, and we only can stop us. So when we go full speed and do what we got to do and do our job, we can't be stopped.
JJ, this has been great. I want to get you out of here with some rapid fire. Just 5 questions. First thing that comes to mind. Does that work for you?
Yes, sir.
All right, we already did the first one. Who's the GOAT between MJ and LeBron? You're wearing an MJ shirt, so that was easy. So we got that
Uh,
one out of the way.
yes, sir.
Has Jackson Dart hosted you with his private jet NIL deal yet?
No. And I'm kind of mad, but that's okay. He got things going on, but that's all right. He hasn't though.
That time's coming. That time's coming. Yeah.
hopefully, hopefully
Uh,
I can get on there.
yeah. Who gets recognized more in Oxford, you or Juice Kiffin?
Maybe Juice Kiffin. Maybe Juice. That's a great question. Maybe Juice. Because Juice, he's about everybody. Everybody loves Juice. So, and I'm about everybody too, but I'm not a dog though. Like everybody loves dogs. Like I think Juice no.
That's true. Everybody loves JJ though too. So don't sell yourself short on
Hand in
that.
hand, it go hand in hand.
Yeah. What's the toughest SEC venue that you've played in, and you can include your own?
Um, I'll say Georgia.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Georgia. hmm
Okay, what's your favorite thing to do on a football field?
Shoot the boy and arrow when I get a sack.
Oh, that's good.
That
Oh, see the celebrate. It's not just the play; it's the celebration. I like that.
I like shooting the boy and arrow because like usually when a lot of people would have been like, oh, you don't like scoring anymore or something like that. I do like scoring, but like I done it so many times, really ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm used to it by now. So that's why I remember Kiffin was like, man, you don't like celebrate like that or anything like that. I was like, I'm just kind of used to it. But like when I jump over a pile or do something like that, I ain't done that in a long time since like high school. So that's when I got to get up and celebrate because I'm like, okay, I still got it a little bit.
The bow and arrow thing. If you did that after a touchdown, it'd be a little bit different. You can't have the same thing after a sack versus after a
you
touchdown.
know, got to switch it up.
Yeah. All right, last one for you. How much are you begging Coach Kiffin to be able to throw a pass?
I've been begging him since last year. So I've been begging him that since last year, but I don't know. He schemes up stuff, so I don't know. Maybe it'll come down in the future.
If that, I mean, that needs to happen. By the time that your career at Ole Miss is done, I feel like you have earned the right. Just give JJ the ball, and you'll figure out the rest later, man.
Yeah.
This has been great. Really, really appreciate it. On behalf of Allstate World Trophy and everything that you're doing in the Oxford community, absolutely awesome stuff. Wish you the best of luck with everything, man.
Thank you.